Sometimes the Googans will have a rough start to a day, and yes, this is this crew's start to the day. As you can tell from right here, there is no boat on this trailer, yet they've launched their vessel and now they are struggling to get up the ramp. Just one of the struggles the Googans will deal with. Welcome back, crew, to this episode of Googans of the Week. Now this crew is going to have to come up with a plan to get this one off, because just spinning the tires doesn't seem to be working. So after a few moments of spinning tires and getting absolutely nowhere, this crew decides they need to get a little more weight back on the rear of that truck, and the easiest way to do that? Well, let's go ahead and toss the boat back on the trailer. I know that might seem counterproductive, adding additional weight to something we're trying to pull out of the water, but the reality is if I get the boat far enough up on the trailer, I'm gonna add that extra weight that's needed for those rear tires to get the grip they need to go ahead and get us off of this ramp. But this crew, they're still gonna struggle with it a little bit here, as we see. So our guy's gonna get out of the truck and try and crank this thing down on the trailer to try and get that extra weight on there so they can get over the hump. But unfortunately, even with that extra weight, it's not quite enough, so we wind up throwing homegirl in the bed. We're gonna fire the engine up on the boat and see if the Googans can get out now. Even still, with all that effort, not quite enough to get him over the hump. But here we go, final last-ditch effort. We put somebody on the bumper, and let's roll and bounce it home. And finally, after a little work, the hard work pays off and they're able to get this one over the hump. But for whatever reason, it's not just these Googans. The Googans tend to struggle down at the ramp. Now, I'm assuming these Googans had to come up with a Googan plan to try and get this one done. And the reason being, I'm guessing the trailer wouldn't go deep enough, just hooked up to the truck, to be able to get this sailboat on. So instead, they strap a couple chains to it, dive the trailer a little deeper to get the sailboat onto it. But that does cause some struggles when you're trying to get it up a steep ramp. But again, enough horsepower and enough straight pull, they wind up getting it over the hump. But some Googans will never get it over the hump because they're just trying the wrong thing. Like our crew here, instead of trying to load it up on the boat ramp, they decide, well, we're just gonna go ahead and park it up against the wall. But again, these Googans didn't quite send it hard enough to get it up over the hump. Thanks for watching, crew. Hope you enjoyed this episode of Googans of the Week. If you ever see anything crazy happening out on your waterways, be sure to hit us up on Facebook or Instagram and let us know, and you might see your stories over here, just like PJ Myers, Roger Stern, and Miami Boat Ramps did this week. And if you guys haven't already, go ahead and drop an anchor on the subscribe button here.